Hi, I'm Steve Slabaugh. This is my wife Eunice, and we live in McGaheysville, Virginia. It's a little town just about 10 miles east of Harrisonburg, Virginia, and we're here to talk a little bit more about Sara.
I received a phone call from our Aunt Sara, who married Sara's mother's grandfather. And she wondered if anyone in this area would know of anyone who had taken the burn training of John Keim's method, a gentle treatment for treating burns. And immediately I knew I had taken the training, so I wanted to help out if I could. But I knew I couldn't do it on my own, and so I called another lady in the area that lived near Dayton, Virginia, and asked if she would help get some others together to make a team to work on this. Originally they were going to come here. We had opened up our home, but we had a house full of company coming, and when they actually were able to come, it would fall over that time. So another couple opened up their home to them, and therefore, then I just simply traveled there to help out and just be part of the team. But those couples, Philip and Lydia and Julia and Virgil, they really were the ones that did the most work. A gentleman named John Keim and several others came to this area. And for those who wanted to learn about these things, the natural, gentle method for treating burns could go, and it was a 2-day, I believe it was a 2-day session. We learned what we could, but it's nothing like doing hands-on. We're able to do some wrapping and different things and practicing, but it's nothing like when it's actually you get a burn case. I had a number of maybe 10 burn cases prior to Sara's, but nothing as severe.
Our son did get the palm of his hand. He had about a quarter size, almost a chunk taken out when he got pinched trying to take down an old dinner bell, but it's really healed over really nicely. But it was just some of those things that, and just smaller things that kind of helped give us some confidence with it, but especially his hand for us, and it after that, and then that kind of thing. But with Sara's, that was a big challenge.
I was not there the very first evening she arrived, and that was a particularly rough evening. There was another lady that has a lot more experience. She did a very good job, Evelyn, and she has been wonderful to work with. She was there, as well as Lydia and Philip, whose home they were staying in. That was very difficult because Sara was so very scared. She had been through the hospital treatment, and here was a whole new team of faces to look at, and us looking at her, and that was difficult, and I think it was hard for her to trust all along, and yet she did so well. I was there the very next morning, and that's when I saw her first. I just remembered thinking, okay, let's do this. Let's do the best we can. Let's try to give her the best care, and also try to care for the parents who were very tired and just weary. I know they were from what they had been through already before they even arrived. First of all, we gathered burdock leaves, and then we would rinse them off, and then have water boiling, and then lay the leaves in a pan, and then pour the boiling water over the leaves. And when the water got kind of the color of tea, a little bit green, and the leaves were more tender for a couple minutes, we would take them out and place them on cookie sheets and to just cool a little bit. And some of them needed rolled with a rolling pin to make the veins in the leaves flatter. Sometimes we trimmed the main veins or cut them out just to make them softer. And then when they were cooled and dried just a little bit, we would initially spread the B&W ointment, which stands for burn and wound ointment, thickly, about 1/8 of an inch over the leaves, and just so that way we didn't have to spread it on her burns. They were so tender. That way the leaf could just be gently placed right on her burns. And then after the leaves were placed on, we wrapped her with gauze, conforming gauze, and then placed like ABD pads or more padding over top to just protect her, give her a little more protection. So we worked with it and just kept doing that, and then later would, twice a day we dressed her, morning and evening, and would cut the bandaging off. And gently, the leaves just peeled off like a banana peel. Instead of, gauze sticking and the burns tearing, it was just simply peel it off gently, discard it, and then we would clean the area very gently, just actually taking like a 4x4 gauze and gently pressing it on, lifting straight off. No rubbing, no, it was very gentle. And just making sure that was all clean and dead skin was removed or whatever needed done. And then we'd start over again. John Kime had a son that was burnt severely. And he had heard and seen others that had gone to the burn units. And he was just pretty well determined. He would never send his child there if possible. And he had tried some other different methods, but he still was like, I wonder what I could do. And he said, let me go away to the woods. Just give me about an hour and let me think and let me pray and let me seek the Lord. And he went and he was thinking, what could I do for my son? How could this be more gentle? What can I do to prevent going to the burn unit? And he looked down, and at that time he saw plantain leaves. And he thought, leaves and some kind of ointment or something. And I should look back in the book exactly. He may have used union salve or something, but something else other than, because he had not developed the B&W ointment yet. And they put that on and scalded the leaves and cooled the leaves down, then put it on, and it just, there was immediate relief, and it was so gentle. And he does look at the overall health of a patient too, just making sure that they're not extremely sick to begin with, that their immune system isn't really down, because then he does recommend getting other help from hospitals or whatever.
Especially shock is a big issue that you got to watch, depending on the burn also. So that's
if
the
it's
other.
A real large percentage of the body. So he doesn't say don't go to the hospital.
No.
He does highly recommend, if there's any signs of dehydration or shock, get them there as fast as you can. The B&W ointment is definitely showing up in more catalogs and other companies that are supplying others and carrying it as an option. And so I think the word will spread. But their vision truly is to see someone in every community have this training, so that when someone has a burn, they don't have to travel across states or even very far at all within the state. And their vision is for that, so that once someone has been helped in this way, they say, oh, we want others to know about this. It is so much better. In Michigan, where they have a hospital they're actually allowed to work in for severe patients, they're trying to get some legislation through to make this possible for anybody to come to, I believe it's in Cass City?
I'm not sure where is it at.
Where there is a hospital there that will take people in and use this method. They're beginning to grow acres of burdock leaves. If this passes, they will have leaves ready to go to these hospitals. There are people moving far more rapidly than what we even are, and just learning and reaching out just around us. Julia and Virgil, they were there to help whenever necessary, and I would often pick Julia up as they didn't have a car. And Julia is such a tender-hearted lady. Every day I'd pick her up, she'd have a bouquet of fresh flowers from the farm, and she would enjoy this, and just have a fresh bouquet setting on the table, a fresh loaf of bread out of her oven ready to take along. She was always the one that would be tender-hearted and notice when someone needed just cared for in their heart, and she blessed me. Just watching them, I wish you could meet them. They're really the ones that need the credit. We just are very much a small part of this whole picture. But again, I share that because it's teamwork. I can't do what Evelyn does. I'm not very good on the computer. He's the one that helps me with that. But she does that. Philip and Lydia open their home. Julia cares for their hearts and helps hands-on. She'll wash dishes, scrub floors, whatever, And I don't quite know what my role was exactly, but I'm learning, and we all work together.